Welcome back, class 12th. We are again discussing certain important items, how their treatment should be, and in this video we'll again deal with certain of the items where the treatment becomes a little difficult or confusing, how it should be treated, whether it should be in the national or domestic income. That becomes a little confusing. So I've shortlisted certain items and we'll be discussing them, each of them one by one. So the first is capital gains. Now what are capital gains? Capital gain is that profit which you earn when you sell off your asset. Okay, suppose I owned a property and it was purchased for rupees 10 lakh in the year 2010, and when I sold it off in 2015 I was able to sell it off at 15 lakhs. So 5 lakh is my capital gain. Now this 5 lakh is although my gain, but it will not be included neither in the domestic nor in the national income. The reason is because nothing new has been produced, nothing new production has taken place. That 5 lakh has not added to the current flow of goods and services for the year 2015. So no production took place. So this gain is only because of the rise in price of my assets, that which is inflationary price, which will not be given place in any of the income, neither in domestic nor in national. So capital gains are not to be considered in any of the incomes, nor in domestic nor in national. Capital gains is only because of the inflationary prices, and it adds no contribution to the current flow of goods and services. So the reason would be nothing new is produced, no new goods or services were produced. It is not adding anything to the production of goods and services. Okay. Then consultancy fee paid to foreign export. Now this question is little incomplete. It is not stating where it is paid. Consultancy fee is paid, but where it is paid. So if it is paid, you will write it. It will be included in domestic income if it is paid in domestic territory. अगर ये कंसल्टेंसी हमने हमारी टेरिटरी में दी है, it will be included in domestic income. If it is paid to a foreign expert in his foreign land, it will nowhere be included. Okay, domestic territory में आएगा नहीं because it is paid on the foreign land, so it will not be included in the domestic income. And since it is in the income of foreign expert, it is not the income of a resident, it will not come in the national income. So you will have to write the reason that if it is paid in in our domestic territory, it will be included in domestic income. If it is paid somewhere else, it will not be included, not even in the national income, क्योंकि income किसकी है? Foreign expert की, who is not our resident. National income में हम resident की income लेते हैं. Okay, so it will not be included in national income if it is paid somewhere outside of a domestic territory. Next, income from airlines between Singapore and China owned by an Indian. If an Indian owns and operates the airline services between any two countries, it is part of a domestic territory. If you remember, while starting off the concept of domestic and national income, I told you international aerospace, जहाँ पे किसी की ओनरशिप नहीं होती, nobody owns it, so that it is part of domestic territory of an economy. So the airline services between Singapore and China is our domestic territory, and income from that will be coming under domestic income. Okay. Then salaries paid by a foreign company, salaries paid by a foreign company located in India. Foreign company which is located in India is paying salary to our residents. So where is this foreign company? In India. So that means it is in domestic territory. So it will be included in domestic income. Okay. Next, remittances from non-resident to their families in India. There are some certain NRIs who are living outside a country. They have not been here in our economy. They have not been earning, spending and accumulating wealth. So they become the resident of the country where they are performing these three tasks. So they are called as non-resident because they are still the citizens, but they are earning economic concept mein, they are not the contributor to a national income. So they are called as non-resident. All those NRIs who send certain amount to their family is the remittances from the non-resident. All such incomes will nowhere be included. All such money which is coming in will not be included because it's a kind of transfer payment. It is a kind of transfer payment. This family is receiving this money for without performing any task. Okay, so this money is received without creation of goods and services. The family receives money without doing anything. So it's a transfer payment or a unilateral transfer, one-sided transfer, which is not included in the national income, simply because it does not create any goods and services for the current year. Then, earnings of American Express Bank. It is not the bank of our country. It is the American Bank, American Express Bank, which is located in India. Okay, earnings of American Express Bank, which is located in India. So you see, earning is of a foreign bank. Earning is of a foreign bank, but it is located in India, which is our domestic territory. So it will be included in the domestic income. क्योंकि वो earnings जो हैं हमारे country के territory में generate हुए हैं. Next, rent received by an Indian from his building in London. Received by an Indian, that means he's a resident, but he is receiving rent from a building which is located in London. So this income is not generated within our territory. So it will not be included in domestic income, but it is received by an Indian who is a resident. All residents' income is part of national income, so it will be part of national income under factor income from abroad. By adding factor income from abroad, we will be able to include his income, क्योंकि ये हमारा resident है, but he has earned his income from the foreign land. So it cannot be included in domestic income, because domestic income includes all the income within the territory. This income is coming from outside but is earned by a resident, so it will be included in the national income but not in domestic income. Then expenditure on maintenance of a building. Expenditure or the money spent on maintenance of a building will not be part of any of these incomes. Why? Because it is part of intermediate consumption. IC, intermediate consumption. If you remember, we deduct the intermediate expenses. So intermediate consumption will not be part of any of the income. It is deducted from the value added method, if you remember. So ऐसे खर्चे which is for the maintenance of a firm or of a building, they are treated as intermediate consumption or intermediate expenditure, which are not included in any of the incomes. Next, payment of electricity bill. Payment of electricity bill again is treated as intermediate consumption. Okay, it is again treated as intermediate consumption. Why? Because it is paid by a school. If it would have been paid by a household, तो फाइनल कंजम्पशन में आता, फाइनल एक्सपेंडिचर में आता, और अंडर प्राइवेट फाइनल कंजम्पशन एक्सपेंडिचर मेड बाय household. But since this is made by an organization which runs mostly on profit motive, this would be not included in the national income. It would be under the category of intermediate consumption. So when any firm or any organization pays electricity bills or purchases raw material, or maybe school purchases chalk and duster, it will all be part of intermediate consumption. It will not be part of final consumption expenditure. Okay, so it will not be included in the national or domestic income, simply because it is intermediate consumption. So you'll be revising all such items like this and making a note of where they'll be included and where not, with a reason. Thank you.